Hi guys, how you doing, and welcome to Warlord Wednesday. Okay, today we're going to be working on this. Now, if you've been following the series on this tile, we've gone from pretty much nothing at all to adding in all our detail to where we are now. Now we've added in our plants from Tajima 1, our grass tufts, and they look absolutely gorgeous. We've added our little shrubbery bushes just here in front of the walls, added an extra wall as well, and we've added in our brick dust and debris where the shells hit and sent everything crashing around. Now, the nice thing about this is today we're almost there before we work on this centerpiece to finish off this front section here. So we want to create a water line and we want to create staining and add in our plants. Now, there's not much to do on this, so it's going to be a nice quick video, but it will show you a nice effect that you can get. So let's get on with it, and I'll see you guys in a second. Hi guys, and welcome back. Okay, so for this I'm going to be using this fantastic little product. Now this is AK Interactive's Slime Grime Dark. Now it's obviously used for wood staining and stuff like that. You know, you get that sort of moulding and you get the mildew and staining that turns it green up the side of wood. It really works well for what I want to do. Now we're going to be adding streaking effects onto this and just bringing it down around here. So what I'm going to do is, with one hand I'm going to take off the lid. This is where I spill it everywhere. With the other hand I'm going to get a paintbrush. That's if I don't drop it on the floor. Okay, so what we're doing is we are literally just feathering it around here. Now when we add in our green foliage or our weeds growing out the side there, it will really add to it. And there we go. Let's just make a feature of that, which is always good. Now what I do is I then get my traditional cotton bud and we just bring that down and just clean it up a little bit and just drag it, because what we don't want to do is make it too prominent. We just want to be able to play with it and add it in there. So we'll add some more, and you know, you can bring it down to as far as you like. It's best not to make it too uniformed, otherwise it's going to look a little bit fake. And let's bring it up in here as well, because we can stain this wall section as well. You know, and feel free to spread it out as much as possible. And again, you just take your cotton bud and just knock it back, and then you can do the same on that side. So I'm going to continue with this, and I'm going to see you guys in a second. Hi guys, and welcome back. Okay, so there we have, as you can see there, our staining. That's come out really nicely. I'm really happy with the way that looks. We've also just filled in some areas as well and just stained the brickwork a little bit more, because you would have that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hide that with the beautiful foliage, and we're going to be using the leafy shrub tufts from Tajima 1, and as you can see they're really nice. Now I use these for pretty much loads of different things, for vines, ivy, and it's kind of nice stuff that juts out of brickwork as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my very, very strong PVA, just give that a shake. Now I only use the lid because there's no point wasting a load of material by pouring it out. Let's just put that down there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one of my grass tufts like so, put a bit of PVA on there, and then what I'm going to do is put my brush down, and we're going to place it here as though it's growing out the side of the brickwork. Now a lot of you are going to say, oh, what are you doing that for? Why don't you put it elsewhere, blah blah, but along the edges. Well, we're going to be putting it along the edges, but we really want to break it up, because nature has a way of claiming back stuff that we create. God, that sounds quite profound, but it does. It has a way of taking man-made objects and reclaiming them in some way. So if you ever see like a rusty bucket that's just left in a field somewhere, you know, you'll see vines growing out of it and weeds and stuff like that. The garden will have, where you have brickwork, you'll have weeds growing out of that, and that's what we want to try and create along here. And it's a really nice process. I always find this really relaxing, this bit, adding the grass into it and the little tufts, and they're so beautifully made as well. I've got to say I thoroughly enjoy the product, and I know a lot of other people that have tried it out have been really positive about the products as well, because they make some really lovely bits and pieces. So it's definitely worth checking them out when you get a chance. But you just add that along there like so, and what we're doing is we're just breaking the wall up, making it a little bit more exciting to look at, and we're adding a little bit more of the story, the narrative to the piece as well, and bringing this piece to life, which is really nice, and that's what it needs. Okay, so I'm going to finish off working on this, and I'm going to see you guys in a second. Hi guys, so I may have deleted by accident some of the footage I shot that goes in between the section that you've just seen and then the section you're going to see. But in the meantime, here's a picture of a sleeping dog. Hi guys, and welcome back. Okay, so we've now finished our water effects and our sort of tide marks along the side there, so it's nice and dirty down. I've managed to drag it down and wipe it. It's still wet, so I've got to be very careful, but all in all, this tile is now complete. Now I'm not going to paint the gun section because I may put in a different gun. Somebody was left a message saying, well, have you thought about a quad anti-air? And that sounds quite a cool idea actually. So what I might do is play around with that for a bit and decide which one I want to put in there. So all of it's done, and I've got to say it's been fantastic. Now this is the last part to the entire board. That means the board is done now. Well, done to the standard that I'm happy with anyway. But the good news is you'll be able to play on this board down at Whaling Games, because that's where it's going to be spending the rest of its time and the rest of its life down there. Now, the reason why is because I just don't have the room at the moment for this board, and there's another board that I want to build that's going to be taking its place. So I get asked a lot of questions about how do you build your boards, how do you put together the tile sections and stuff like that, and I thought it'd be nicer to do videos where we start off on a step-by-step process and we sort of dip into it every now and then and see how we're going. Now the next board is going to be a Pacific board, so it's going to be jungle, 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 which is going to be absolutely amazing. Now I want to be able to play it with two different types of games. I want to play it with the bolt action Pacific, and I want to do Vietnam games on it as well. So I'm quite interested to see how this is going to work out. So it's got to have that sort of World War II sort of 60s feel about it. So obviously there won't be too much difference jungle wise, but some of the buildings may look a bit out of place in World War II and not so much in the 60s. So we've got to be careful about how we do that because they've got to cross between two different timelines. So guys, it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to really enjoy this. Now I'm going to see you Friday for Freaking Friday. You be good, you be safe, and I'm very sorry this video is very short, but I wanted to show you you guys the finished product. So guys, be good, be safe, and I'm going to see you very, very soon.